Convert 7 feet to inches. In order to convert, we need to know the conversion fact for feet to inches. 1 foot equals 12 inches. There are two ways to write this conversion as a fraction. 1 foot over 12 inches, or 12 inches over 1 foot. I want you to look at what this fraction really is. 1 foot is the same thing as 12 inches. We have something in the numerator that equals what's in the denominator. Recall that if we had the same number in the numerator and the denominator, that fraction had a value of 1. So we have a numerator and denominator that are equal. They look different because they have different units, but the numerator and denominator here are equal. So the value of this fraction is really equal to the number 1. So we are going to be using these to change or convert feet to inches. When we multiply a fraction that is a conversion fraction, we're not changing the value, we are multiplying by 1. When we multiply by 1, we don't change the value. So keep that in mind as we do these conversions. We will start by writing 7 feet over 1 to make this look like a fraction. Now we need to choose one of these conversion fractions. We want to change to inches. So what we need to do is multiply by the one that has the inches in the numerator. So we are going to multiply by 12 inches over 1 foot. What I want you to see here is we can divide out our units of feet because we have feet in the numerator and feet in the denominator, and then we will be left with inches. So we'll divide the feet out, the unit of feet out. So we multiply 7 times 12 and we get 84 inches in the numerator, and 1 times 1 is 1 in the denominator. So our answer is 84 inches. 84 inches divided by 1 is equal to 84 inches. Convert 4 miles to feet. In order to convert miles to feet, we need to know the conversion fact. 1 mile equals 5,280 feet. We can write the conversion fact two ways. We can put the miles in the numerator and the 5,280 feet in the denominator, or we can put the 5,280 feet in the numerator and the 1 mile in the denominator. Notice we've made a fraction where the numerator and the denominator are equal. If a numerator and denominator are equal, the actual value of the fraction is equal to 1. It's just a strange looking 1 because we have different units in the numerator and the denominator. We will now write our 4 miles over 1 to make that look like a fraction. Our goal is to change this to feet, so we want to pick the conversion fact that has feet in the numerator. And the miles in the denominator will then cancel with the miles in the numerator of the original number we have. So we have miles in the numerator here and miles in the denominator, so we will divide those units out. Now we will multiply 4 times 5,280. You might need to get some scratch paper out to do this, or you may use your calculator. The answer is 21,120. And 1 times 1 is 1. And our unit that is left in the numerator is feet. Anything divided by 1 is itself, so our answer is 21,120 feet. Convert 8 hours to minutes. In order to convert, we need to know our conversion fact for hours to minutes. 1 hour equals 60 minutes. We can write our conversion fact as a fraction in two ways. We can put 1 hour over 60 minutes, or we can put 60 minutes over 1 hour. Understand that we have a numerator and denominator that are equal. 1 hour is the same thing as 60 minutes. So again, both of these fractions have a real value of 1. It is a different looking one because we have different units for these numbers. Now we will write 8 hours over 1. We want to pick the conversion fraction that has minutes in the numerator because that is what we want to have converted to. So we multiply by 60 minutes over 1 hour. Notice we have hours in the numerator and denominator, and we will divide those units out. Then we will multiply 8 times 60, which is equal to 480. And our units is minutes. And then 1 times 1 is equal to 1. Anything divided by 1 is itself. So our answer is 480 minutes. 8 hours equals 480 minutes. Convert 3 quarts to fluid ounces. We need to know some conversion facts in order to do this. 1 cup is equal to 8 fluid ounces. 1 pint is equal to 2 cups, and 1 quart is equal to 2 pints. We will start by changing quarts to pints, then we will change pints to cups, and then we will change cups to fluid ounces. So we'll start with this conversion fact. We have 3 quarts, and we'll write this over 1. We'll look at this conversion fact. 1 quart equals 2 pints. We will put the quarts in the denominator so that we divide with the unit quart in the numerator of our original number, and 2 pints in the numerator. Now we will change pints to cups using 1 pint equals 2 cups conversion fact. So we want to put pints in the denominator to divide out our pints. So 1 pint and then 2 cups in the numerator. So here our quarts will divide out. Here our pints will divide out. Now we have cups. So now we need to use this conversion fact. We will put the cups in the denominator to divide out, and then we'll put the 8 fluid ounces in the numerator. So then these cups divide out, and we will be left with fluid ounces as our unit. So now we can multiply across. 3 times 2 times 2 times 8. 3 times 2 is equal to 6. Times 2 is equal to 12. And 12 times 8 is equal to 96. And then in our denominator we have 1 times 1 times 1, which is 1. So our answer is 96 fluid ounces. Convert 96 inches to yards. In order to convert inches to yards, we need to know our conversion fact. 1 yard equals 36 inches. To convert, we will first write the 96 inches over 1. Then we will multiply by our conversion fact written as a fraction. We will put the inches in the denominator so that we can divide out inches, and we will put yards in the numerator because that is the unit that we want in the end. We see that our inches divide out, and we multiply across and get 96 over 36 yards. Notice that 96 over 36 can be simplified. The greatest common factor of both of these numbers is 12. You may not have seen that right away, so you could have divided them by smaller numbers to begin with, like 2 and 3, and eventually you would end up with 8 over 3. So we get 8 over 3 yards. That is the answer as an improper fraction. But I think that an answer as a mixed number would have more meaning to us. So let's take this and write it as a mixed number. We will put the 8 inside the division symbol and the 3 outside. 3 divides 8 twice, with 2 left over. The remainder is our numerator, and what we divided by is our denominator. So we can also write our answer as 2 2/3 yards. So 96 inches is 2 yards and 2/3 of a yard. Convert 81 feet to yards. In order to convert feet to yards, we need to know our conversion fact. 1 yard equals 3 feet. We will write 81 feet over 1 so that it is a fraction. We will then multiply by our conversion fact written as a fraction. We will put the feet part in the denominator so that it divides out with the feet in the units of our original number. And we will put yards in the numerator because that is the unit that we want for our answer. The feet divide out. We multiply across. 81 times 1 is 81, and 1 times 3 is 3. And we're left with yards for our unit. We can simplify 81 over 3. 3 divides both of them. Or you could do it like this. 3 goes into 8 twice, with 2 left over. And 3 goes into 21 7 times, with nothing left over. So 81 divided by 3 is equal to 27 yards. So 81 feet is equal to 27 yards. Convert 2 1/2 pounds to ounces. In order to convert pounds to ounces, we need to know our conversion fact. 1 pound is equal to 16 ounces. We will write 2 1/2 pounds as an improper fraction, the whole number times the denominator plus the numerator. 2 times 2 is 4 plus 1 is 5 halves pounds. Now we will multiply by our conversion fact written as a fraction. We'll put our pounds in the denominator and our ounces in the numerator, because we want ounces as our unit for our answer. Our pounds will divide out. We also see we have a 16 in the numerator here and a 2 in the denominator. We have a 2 as a factor in both the numerator and denominator, so we can divide out a 2. 2 divided by 2 is 1, and 16 divided by 2 is 8. Now we will multiply. 5 times 8 is equal to 40 ounces, and 1 times 1 is equal to 1. Anything divided by 1 is itself, so our answer is 40 ounces. So 2 1/2 pounds is equal to 40 ounces. Convert 47 inches to feet. In order to convert inches to feet, we need to know our conversion fact. 1 foot is 12 inches. We will write 47 inches over 1, so we have a fraction. Then we will multiply by our conversion fact written as a fraction. We will put the inches in the denominator, so the 12 inches will go in the denominator so that we can divide out inches, and we'll put our feet in the numerator because we want feet to be our unit of our answer. The inches divide out. We multiply across. 47 times 1 is 47. And 1 times 12 is 12. So 47 and 12 don't have any common factors. So 47 twelfths feet. This is the answer written as an improper fraction. We can write it as a mixed number by putting the 47 inside the division symbol. 12 divides 47 3 times. And we subtract and we get 11. 11 is our numerator and 12 is our denominator. So this is the answer as a mixed number, 3 11/12 feet.